Introduction: The end of gender is not political, it's structural. Welcome back. I'm Adeline, a 11-time published author, and this is The Elimination of Gender, a documentary investigation into one of the most misunderstood and misrepresented transformations happening on the planet today. This series does not take a political stance. It is not an opinion on identity, sexuality, or personal rights. This is a biological, chemical, and technological investigation into the slow and systematic phasing out of gender, not just as a social construct, but as a biological category embedded in the human species. This is the second installment in our wider body of work exploring the end of legacy humanity. In Series 1, we examine the collapse of natural reproduction, the rise of synthetic children, and the demographic shifts signaling the end of the biological human. But to understand how we got here, we have to look closer, not just at fertility, but at gender itself. What happens to a species when the masculine and feminine begin to disappear? Who benefits from the collapse of sex-based reproduction? And why, in an age obsessed with artificial intelligence, are we watching gender roles dissolve so rapidly? This series addresses these questions without political framing. The content ahead is not about advocacy or condemnation. It is a presentation of hard science, historical patterns, and active technologies that are reshaping the very nature of the human being. It will include serious topics like infertility, chemical feminization, artificial reproduction, and spiritual ethics around human design. Viewers are advised to use discernment. If you are not in a place to engage these themes, biologically, emotionally, or spiritually, please step away or speak to someone you trust. This is not a substitute for medical or psychological guidance. These videos are provided for educational and critical thought purposes only. Let's begin with some definitions you'll need to understand as we move through the series. First, when we talk about gender, we are not referring to identity politics or expressions of selfhood. We are referring to the biological framework of male and female as it relates to reproduction, hormonal balance, and physiological characteristics. Gender roles may be socially influenced, but gender itself is biological, and that biology is now under pressure from multiple fronts. Next, the term xenoestrogens. These are synthetic compounds that mimic the function of estrogen in the human body. They are found in pesticides, plastics, cosmetics, food preservatives, flame retardants, and even receipt paper. They interfere with the body's endocrine system, the hormone-regulating system that governs growth, development, sexual function, and metabolism. When these compounds enter the body, especially during fetal development, they can cause lifelong alterations to sexual hormones and reproductive capabilities. Xenoestrogens are not fringe science. They are widely documented, studied, and known to cause what is called endocrine disruption, a breakdown in the natural hormonal balance between estrogen, testosterone, and other sex-regulating chemicals. Over the past 50 years, male testosterone levels have dropped significantly across every generation. Sperm counts have been cut in half. Boys are being born with smaller testicles, lower testosterone, and in some cases, with ambiguous genitalia. Girls are experiencing earlier onset of puberty and increased infertility. These aren't isolated anomalies. This is now being classified as a global reproductive health crisis by scientists like Dr. Shanna Swan and environmental biologists like Dr. Tyrone Hayes. Why does this matter for gender? Because the existence of gender depends on a functional biological distinction between male and female. If hormone levels are being artificially altered from the inside out, and if external expression is increasingly fluid while internal biology is chemically scrambled, then gender, at the level of body, not just mind, is literally being erased. In this context, gender fluidity is not rebellion, it's conditioning. It is a cultural acclimatization to a biological future where masculine and feminine become irrelevant. And once gender becomes irrelevant, reproduction becomes optional. That's where the overlap with depopulation and transhumanism becomes unavoidable. As we explored in our first series, Depopulation, the Last Biological Humans, humanity is not going extinct, but biology is. Fertility rates are plummeting. Natural conception is being replaced by IVF, surrogacy, and artificial womb prototypes like ecto-life. As reproduction becomes more technological and less biological, the need for gendered pair bonding diminishes. You no longer need a man and a woman to make a child. You need lab access, genetic code, and a financing model. This new reproductive model is genderless by design. It doesn't require love, bonding, or polarity. It requires submission to systemized creation. And in that framework, gender is not a benefit. It's a barrier. The rise of AI companions, sex robots, and virtual intimacy platforms has further eroded the functional need for male-female relationships. AI does not reproduce. It does not experience sexual dimorphism. It does not require the dynamics of masculine or feminine roles to thrive. It is gender neutral, by default. And as we begin to mirror our environment, spending more time with machines than with people, our own expectations of gender identity, relationships, and biology begin to shift. This is not a moral argument. It is a systems analysis. Gender is being deleted, not just from identity frameworks, but from the biological infrastructure of the species. From chemical assault to digital companionship, from engineered children to post-human blueprints, everything is moving toward a design that no longer requires sexual reproduction, which means it no longer requires gender. The family unit, the mother-father-child triad, is rooted in gender-based polarity. The collapse of that polarity, whether through hormonal degradation or synthetic normalization, leads not just to family breakdown, but to species redesign. We are entering an age of engineered reproduction, synthetic identity, and fluid embodiment, and we are being told this is progress. But progress toward what? This series will not answer that question for you. It will lay out the facts, the science, the history, and the active technologies behind the elimination of gender. What you do with that information is up to you. We will explore the hormonal collapse of men, the rise of feminizing chemicals, the normalization of synthetic wombs, the legal battle over sex-based rights, and the spiritual implications of creating life without polarity, without parents, and potentially without souls. What we are witnessing is not a political revolution. It is a biological extinction event. Not of humanity as a whole, but of sex-based humanity. Of the gendered human experience. Of the blueprint that made us who we are. This is the elimination of gender, a forensic examination of what happens when nature, biology, and divinity are replaced with customization, chemicals, and code. Welcome to the series. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing, and no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones, the replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans, the merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.